I can't take it.
All right, where go?
Where it go?
Awesome. And action. Boop.
We're back.
And we are back.
With another one.
And let's go before the Father.
Before the King. It's AJ.
And Darah. Here we are, deep skydiving.
Skeep skydiving.
Skeep skydiving.
Yeah.
Deep skydiving, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Deep Sky.
Deep skydiving.
Oh, she got it. Go ahead.
I don't know. That's
Go ahead,
not
do it
really.
again. I missed it.
I don't have much more than that.
Oh, all right.
So, deep skydiving.
Deep skydiving. Father, we just thank you right now for this moment and this time, Father, for affording us a new day,
Yes, Lord.
new grace and new mercies. Forgive us, Father, for the things in our lives that may have brought you dishonor. Forgive us for where we have been disobedient and even where we missed your voice, Father, and we didn't move in obedience. Have your way with us. Show us how to make our crooked road straight, Father. Let us humble ourselves so that you don't have to. And let us just have a good time right now, effective time. Let our voices speak with clarity. Let us have sound minds at this time. And let us be with us without thinking, without speech, Father. Let us speak with clean. Let's have clean language, Father, effective language and strong language. And I pray for the hearers, those who are listening. I pray that they receive, Father, with an open ear, Father, with an open heart. And I pray that it's just your will that's done at this time. Let this be the best episode yet, best podcast ever, Father. And it's in your precious Son, Yahushua's name, I ask you all these things. Amen.
Amen. So welcome back, divers, to another episode of Deep Skydiving.
You ain't finished it.
Because I think you're hot.
Thank you.
That was your part.
Sexy.
It's okay. I'm free to cover
She doesn't
all
know that
of the
song.
song.
I didn't put it on
Probably
airplane
favorite
mode.
game of- Huh?
I forgot to put it back on airplane mode.
All right, so go ahead.
Nah, it'll be all right. No. It's going to be okay.
It's going to be all right. You don't have no friends, no way, huh?
I mean, if
Somebody
they
gonna call you?
if they gonna call, they gonna call. It still ain't gonna go through. Whatever. This is my only friend. It's the only friend I have.
That's
So
my only friend. Yeah.
and she doesn't call, so it doesn't matter.
I sure don't. And if I call you, be like, what's going on? Do you?
Yeah, because she doesn't call nobody except for her girlfriends.
I don't call them sometimes.
Barely call them. They call her.
It's all good.
Yeah, she's not a phone talker. She's a texter. Freaking millennials.
I know. Weirdos. I
I
just like to be like, boo, bop, bop, da bop, and then I'm out. I don't like to have a whole bunch of fluff conversation.
I like to talk on the phone, but
That's
everybody else likes to talk. Likes to text. So I have no choice but to text.
I like to talk on the phone when I'm boo loving, but it gotta be like a good boo.
I like to talk on the phone to people I actually like.
That's true.
What you mean a good boo? Like, why you got a boo if it ain't a good one?
We don't got time. So that laughter that you hear in the background is our little star guest. She's not going to be on camera, but shout out to Kennedy Jackson.
Which we also owe today's
little
topic
baby.
to.
Yes, we're going to switch it up because we were going to talk about when to introduce parents.
Oh, yeah. Parents
Kids.
and kids. So
Yeah.
pretty much being with somebody who has kids and you don't, or if you do, whatever.
Right.
But
Like,
when
when
is
is it
the
a
right
good time?
time to meet them?
Yeah, so instead we were like, we have Kennedy here. Shout out to her. We asked her. She's 12. We'll probably put her TikTok. She said she wants some TikTok followers.
You got a
up.
TikTok?
But don't follow her if you're a creep.
Don't get
because
us
I
in
will
trouble
hurt you.
with her.
Yeah, I
with
will
her
hurt
mom.
you. No, your mom knows you have a TikTok. She don't know. She knows. She doesn't know. Well, she knows now, and you might want to delete that page. Anywho,
Or delete something you don't want seen. All
A
right,
hot
but
thing.
so what's the topic today?
the topic today is going
Requested
to
by
be
Miss Kennedy.
Yes, requested by Miss Kennedy is how to attract boys and girls. And today we're just gonna say males and females, only because of the fact that obviously we're adults and she's 12. So we're gonna try to make it as
I'm not. We could talk normal. They understand.
No. I'm
Oh.
just saying, like, be very clear with our words so that it's not like we're not gonna just assume that you know what we're talking about or what we're saying.
She won't.
Okay. But anyway, the last topic was about logic versus feelings and how we make decisions. Did you have anything to add to that?
I did, but I forgot.
Oh, okay.
Did you?
Well, I will say.
Oh,
that
I did. I'm
okay,
sorry.
go ahead.
It was crazy because after we filmed that, I saw this TikTok where this girl said, "We know men think more logical and we're more emotional." I'm just like, I started to send it to you, but I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. But she had went on describing why and all this, and I was like, dang, this joke is dope. But I sent it to you afterwards. I ain't want to send it after that episode.
But was there anything new though? It was just something to.
Nah, she spoke on what we spoke on, but she had elaborated in other ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just basically experienced basically what we were talking about.
What happened? Do share.
So one of my friends just made a really emotional decision. Actually, on the night that we recorded our podcast.
Yep.
Was it the night? Yeah, it was the night of.
It was right before.
Right, it was right before. So that's why it was it's such an ironic thing. Well, no, because you said that you wanted it down.
Yeah,
because
but
you
your
want
mouth
them
is
to
up
be
here
able
now.
to.
They're unidirectional.
All right. Well,
So
as soon as he decides on what he wants,
the mic has to face you. Go ahead.
it's literally the same place that it was.
It's not.
That's always
It's
is.
not. Go ahead.
This is why, guys.
Watch how it
It's
sounds.
the logic.
Watch how it sounds so different. But go
It's
ahead.
fine. It's the logic.
It's the logic.
So anyway, one of my friends made a very emotional decision and ended up costing her some money and time and energy and emotion, even more emotion. And I just thought that it was very ironic because we had just recorded that episode in regards to just thinking logically and allowing yourself to process your emotions before you make a logical decision, which I think that women are very capable of doing. I'd like to just continue on with that. I just think that we have to process our emotions first, and I don't think that that's what she ever really does. So with her processing it later, she was kind of able to kind of like breathe, but it was just so many things that she had to kind of run through and, do just at the cost of her making such an emotional decision.
Can I say this?
Sure.
Would this be fair? Women can afford to make, they can afford to make those decisions more than we can.
Mm-hmm.
Like those emotional reactions, emotional decisions. When we do it, it's like seriously frowned upon, make us look weak, and everything, like almost in all instances, the repercussions are more severe.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like court, job, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's why, as men, we kind of have to think more logical than with our emotions, make decisions based off of logic and what's practical more than.
In the sense that if
can't
there's
afford
something
to.
here,
Yeah.
right, and you don't really know how to do anything with it, so you end up making like it's crazy
Yeah.
and saying, yeah, I
And then,
can
like
I can
said,
deal
if
with
we're
it.
together and you're making decisions with your emotions and I'm making my decisions with emotions, like
It's just a ball of crap.
yeah,
Yeah, agreed. All right. Well, I mean, that was just what I wanted to share, just how everything just kind of
happened.
that night.
Yeah,
So, the new topic, I said it right, Lizzie. The attraction, how to attract boys and girls, or
what attracts?
what
the opposite
attracts
sex?
the opposite sex. Okay, we can use that.
Now this is a PG-13 topic.
Definitely, because she's sitting here in the
It
room.
might be like a rated MA topic, but we'll keep it PG-13. All right, so we're just gonna say what's real.
Yeah.
How it is out here.
Okay.
So
I have to, and I'm trying to think about.
You
So
think of a
before we started, I did ask Lizzie just to kind of like clarify, what she meant by, being attracted, like meant, being attracted to the opposite sex, because I wanted to know like if she meant like ways of getting like boys or ways of getting girls, like that sort of thing. I wanted to also know like the parameters of it. So we talked about like what people her age are doing, right? We talked about, what 12-year-olds are doing right now. And she told me that they were dating, but like a date looks like, going to like a carry out or something, or going to, a
What a
place to eat.
12-year-old date would look like.
Right. And like you wait on your parents to get there, which I'm familiar with that. Right. I didn't have that sort of, level of freedom because I went to a private school and I went to school with my sister. So it wasn't like I had like I had to make sure that she was okay. Like, you know what I mean? That there's a responsibility there. So I don't remember ever walking to the carry out with my boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to date when I was 12, but I remember being attracted to boys, but I just don't remember me wanting to do much else.
All right,
like
so
just say that that's my boyfriend.
Let's
and
start
that's
there.
it.
What attracted you?
So at that time it was very superficial, very surface. Like I just liked the way the package looked. So there was this guy, I remember him, Tori Stafford. Sorry if you're watching. He his mother kept him, like I can say that now, his mother kept him very well groomed. He always had a haircut. He was always very clean. He always had the latest shoes. He had an earring in his ear.
He was cute.
He was cute. He was a cute boy for that time.
Yeah.
So that attracted me to him. He had braces. Like braces were cool to me for some reason. That's really weird. But he had braces, and it just seemed like he was wealthy. Like he had all of these accessories. Like he had all these drip. Yeah, like he had all of this drip and this affluence, right? And he was very popular because of those things. Because obviously,
so all the girls liked him.
Yeah, I would say so. And he wasn't bad looking. He was a cute little boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what about you? What attracted you to
I don't think
girls?
Looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think when you're that young, that's what attracts everybody. I don't think we're not like keen to paying attention to somebody's personality and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We just, she's cute. That's my girlfriend.
Yeah. We're just asking the questions as if we're not just gonna assume that that's what it is, because if it were something different, then we would have taken that from you.
Right.
But yes, it is looks.
I did have, when I was probably around 12, middle school, probably 11 to 12. I had a girlfriend that I didn't want to be my girlfriend. It was just
wow,
like
why was
everybody,
she your girlfriend?
Because everybody else made her my girlfriend. Like, y'all should be. Yeah.
I have had that.
Because
happen.
she liked me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Like, let's just do it.
No, that wasn't me. Like, nah, let's just do it. Like, she was always hitting on me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I forgot who said it. I think this girl named Ashley initiated it or something. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow we ended up boyfriend and girlfriend.
How long did it last?
Probably like 2 weeks. I don't know, a week.
Would you find that they're very short-lived, these relationships? No? How long do they go on?
6th grade to 8th grade. So.
They out here boyfriend and girlfriend for 2 whole school years, the whole middle school
That's
career.
interesting. That was never a thing for us.
Never.
Were you in a relationship? The longest relationship that I've ever been in my life was when I was in high school.
I think my 7th grade or 8th grade, whenever that was, girlfriend was my first girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you was kids, you had people that you liked.
Yeah.
But we wasn't on no boyfriend girlfriend stuff.
Right.
My 6th
Yeah.
grade school year, it wasn't really that good. We never just be like dating for a month or so.
Oh, okay.
But like older kids, they would have been dating like from 6 to 8.
So are we talking people that grew up together? Like they've been going to the same school the whole time?
They were only there for 6 to 8.
That's what I mean. Like they knew each other. Like, yeah. Okay.
All right, high school.
High school.
Yeah, what attracted you to boys in high school? Or the one guy?
Looks. No, it wasn't just looks though. It was, so my boyfriend, my one and only boyfriend that I had when I was in high school, he was a flute player.
Flute?
I thought he was gay at first. Everybody did. But he wasn't.
I'm not even going to ask that question.
What was he?
Why are girls attracted to gay boys or boys that
Well, I wasn't
seem
attracted.
gay?
So, first of all, I wasn't. He was fine, though. Like, that's one thing we should just say.
Gay
He was
and fine.
chocolate. No, he wasn't gay.
All right.
It was an assumption that we made because of the fact that he played the flute, but that's not even a cool assumption. But when you're young like that, like, you don't know. Like, there are some amazing flute players.
It actually is a cool assumption when you're in high school.
Right, because that's all you know.
Well,
but
you can't do that now. Don't do that now because that would be bullying. But like,
yeah,
when we
like
was
it's
in high
not cool
school,
to assume that
yeah.
like somebody's sexuality based off of what instrument they play. Like that's not okay.
It's not even. It ain't even about the sexuality.
Yeah, and I think again it's a different time too. So a lot of them are actually gay.
My man was in choir when we was in middle school. We laughed him out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, choir? He's like, yeah. I was like, nigga, you gay.
And that's not even
It's like,
gay. And that's really not gay.
Little boys wasn't singing back then. But it was cool though, man.
Not
'cause
in
was
the
a
black
couple of-
community.
It was a couple of guys that was in the choir. I'm just joking. We did laugh him out. We ain't called him gay.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's like, man, who the hell singing? But
If he was good enough, he could get the girls. So anyway, so going back
He
to
wasn't.
it, he wasn't that good.
nah.
Just needed a grade.
Yeah.
But this guy, he was a very, very attractive man.
And a good flute player.
He was an excellent flute player.
So he probably still is. What's his name? He might be listening.
No, I'm not giving him a shout out.
Well,
only
if
Kendrick.
he is.
Well,
yeah.
God bless you though. But anyway, he knows who he is because he's the only guy that I've ever dated who played the flute.
Yeah.
But he was very attractive. He was like really chocolate. This is when the dark skin was like coming in, and it was like really like Morris Chestnut was running and got shot in the back.
Back then we wasn't cool. It was light skin back then.
Baby, I don't know when you went to school or where you went
In
to
the
school,
90s?
but I went to school in Chicago, and
Oh.
he was popular. Yes, Boys in the Hood came out in what, mid 90s?
Like 90. It was 91 or 93.
Oh, it was early 90s then. So yeah, so when after that it was like they were in. So anyway, I've always had an affinity for chocolate anyway. So he was a very nice looking dark skinned man. He was aggressive because he was the one who approached me, and he was like, I really like you, like that sort of thing. And it was kind of like we went from there. On the phone all the time.
Cool.
Yeah.
There was some lookers in my high school, but my philosophy was I don't mess with nobody I go to school with.
Even at that age?
Oh yeah.
Wow, why?
Man, I just don't. It was too close to home for me. I don't want people in my business. I ain't want.
Wow, you were really smart.
That was smart.
Yes. I didn't come to that conclusion until I got to college. Like, I'm not messing with nobody who I go to college with.
There's not a soul in my high school that I dated.
Wow. Well, that's what this is all about. That's what
Hold
this
up.
topic is all
Man,
about.
See, this is a little bit before your time. So back then we had things called malls that we would go to. Yeah, we had malls that little teenage boys used to go to and little teenage girls used to go to.
Your mom used
And
to
we
drop
had
you off.
another thing called Black Planet. You don't know nothing about that.
It was like Facebook, like early, like before
And for black
MySpace,
people.
all of that. But it was
Yeah.
just for black people. Huh?
You said Facebook?
Right. So Black Planet was like the early Facebook.
It was like had to be like the first
It wasn't like
social
Instagram or
media
TikTok or
network.
none of that. It was literally like,
I don't even think the term social media
it wasn't a
was
thing.
out back. Yeah, but
Because
it
then
was,
MySpace came. Social media didn't become a thing until after Facebook came.
yeah, after it was something for white people.
Yes. But yeah, so Black Planet was like, you could have your little profile. You could have little pictures on there. You could say
music
little
on
things
it.
about yourself. You could have a little profile name.
Yeah,
Do you remember your username?
I do not. I had like 2 or 3 different Jones.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember though. Lonzo 17.
Lonzo 17.
Lonzo
Did you have that little
17,
picture
I
of
think.
you with them locks that you sent me? That was sort of so cute.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It might have been. I think that's where I got that.
Them Black Planet
No, I
They
got
look
that
like
picture
some
off
Black
of
Planet
MySpace.
pictures. Oh, okay.
That wasn't I ain't have my hair on Black Planet days.
So you would go to the mall and you'd be like, "What's up, shorty? What's your Black Planet
Nope.
thing?" Okay. What you do?
What's up, shorty?
You already know. I told you I was never the one to just off bucks. I gotta really be attracted to you for me to say something to you. And it's not a lot of women that I'm really attracted to that I would say something to just off of seeing them. So
that's really different because I feel like a lot of men, there's this funnel. So there's like a whole bunch of different women that they try to talk to. Like they're reaching out,
Yeah.
whoever gonna come through, and then they trickle down to whoever deals with them or whoever they are more aggressive to or whatever.
My funnel is whoever likes me. And if I like you, or if you're attractive,
Then we can go.
then we could click. Yeah. But it ain't no holler at everybody, see what works. Now, I know a lot of guys like that. I think that's the majority of men probably.
Yeah, just kind of like taking
Yeah,
numbers.
not me.
Okay.
One,
What
I'm
makes
not a
you-
big fan of rejection.
Oh, okay.
Two, I'm not a big fan of wasting my time either. So I don't care about rejection. I know how to move on. I think we all been, well, I ain't say we all, man. I've been rejected before. And I've rejected before. So it's not really a big deal, but I don't like wasting my time either.
Got you.
And I'm not a sport fisher.
And that's what I feel like a lot of men are.
Yeah.
Just kind of like
A lot of guys
seeing
sport
what's,
fish.
seeing what. Because one of my homegirls, actually, me and her had a conversation about like online dating. And she was like, you know, what I cannot stand for is, you know, these guys who are very intentional in the beginning. And then it's like you don't hear from them, or it's very spotty communication. And I said, well, you have to understand, like, it really is like sport fishing. Like, they're just trying to figure out who they like the most. Like, you're just one of probably, I mean, let's just say 7, just for the sake of that being a round number. 7 women. So, one, y'all are not very good at multitasking anyway. So, for you to try to, like, entertain that many girls via phone, and you know what I mean?
I am not attractive online. My girls don't like me online. I don't, my online
You try
presence
online dating?
sucks. Man, every time I like sign up for something, I just delete it the same day or whatever. I'm like, man, this feels so corny and it's whack.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it either.
Yeah, so. And plus, I don't know how. I don't have game. I don't know how to word things to make women like them. So, my profile always be whack.
I mean, that's
So
fair.
if somebody holler, and plus, I look a lot younger than I actually am, especially back then. So, being a 25-year-old, 24-year-old, looking like I'm 18, 19.
Right.
No
just
other,
wasn't.
yeah.
I dig
No.
it. So attracting, because I feel like we should start with you all, because you guys are the ones that.
All right. Well, I was
Go
going deep
after.
because, of course, we're physically attracted first. Like, first and foremost, men are visual. Like, we see something, if it's attractive, that's what opens the door. Now,
So would you, because I kind of want to break that apart too, because I mean, we're
Alright,
talking
cool.
to the kids as well. So would you say though that it is important for the young lady to keep up her appearance, whatever that might be, right? Just keeping it up in order for there
Yeah.
to be some initial attraction?
yeah, but I don't want to put emphasis on it.
Okay.
Because I would, matter of fact, I don't know if I would even mention like keeping up your appearance, because I don't know what that would mean to them. Because keeping up your appearance might mean like how you see Beyonce or how you see Carrie Hilson or whoever the big star is for the new generation. Keeping up your appearance may be what you see on TV or something. When what I meant was take a shower every day.
Yeah.
Like, make sure your hair ain't all everywhere.
So that's how I
You
meant
should-
it too. But
yeah.
it's funny because Kennedy and I were having a conversation about that today, because I was telling her, like, you know, she just said that, what did you say, Kennedy? You said something in regards to your appearance. You were just saying like, oh, she said she doesn't place a lot of emphasis on like weight, right? When we talking about weight. And so, you know, we were talking about just feeling comfortable in your body. How it's not necessary. She was saying that there were people who, they were so much nicer to her. This was yesterday, actually, when we were riding home. She was saying there were so many people that were much nicer to her when she started to lose weight, when she was dancing. And she was like, whoa, like, why are people being so kind? You know what I mean, to me now? And I said, I noticed that too. But I think it's a matter of the conversations too. Like, some people, like, that's a big thing for them. Like, oh my God, you look so good. What are you doing? And I don't think it's necessarily that you were not attractive before, but I do feel that like there's a tone over all of us that kind of like wants for the person to be better, but not necessarily in a sense of like, let me see if I'm explaining this right. In a sense of like, well, then I can do it too. Does that make sense? Because
No.
most of the women who've seen me, they're like, oh my God, like, you look so good. What have you been doing? They want to know what's the formula, because I want to lose weight as well.
Well,
Does
that's
that
cool.
make sense?
Yeah, that does. That's cool. But what about attraction to the opposite sex?
Right.
Or to whomever you're...
Because I haven't noticed that there's been a difference between the way that men treat me at this point. Like, because of the weight that I've lost. I've noticed that conversation is usually like, if men do notice, which they have, their whole thing is they don't want to be they don't want to I guess overstep or say anything that's, ridiculous
Because of who you are.
I guess so. That you would tell me that because of who I am.
Yeah, but they would say it, and I could bet anything to other women. Mm-hmm. Like other women that may allow that type of verbiage from them. They would like, dang, you looking good. You looking like you slimming down, looking nice and tasty. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody gonna say that to you.
I have had them say that.
Oh well.
Yeah, but it's usually like they just tap on it. They don't really go like real deep into it. So I understand that it has to do with my posture though. But,
yeah. And how you conduct yourself. Like,
yeah. But going back to the original topic.
Yeah.
I just wanted to stop there because I wanted to, talk directly to those young ladies who are just trying to find, because I feel like at 12, like you're still kind of like trying to find out what works for you, what you like, you know what I mean?
Are we talking 2 12-year-olds or are we?
What you mean?
So.
No, not just to 12-year-olds, but I mean, we're starting there. But I think you said something very cool when we were sitting at the table, just kind of like discussing what we were going to talk about. You said we're all still children, though. Like we all still have that like boy and that girl inside of us. Mm-hmm. So there's still a level of continuing to find out who we are that is happening even now for me. There's a little girl inside of me who's still like, do you like that? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's cute.
Hold up. All right, let's go back. You said something about the weight situation. You said that it's not that you're not attractive. Mm-hmm. I want to say it is. Mm-hmm. Because being attractive and being unattractive is subjective, and it's different to every person. Mm-hmm. So if the person you like is not attractive to that, is not attracted to being overweight or a certain size, some people aren't attracted to skinny girls.
Right.
Like myself, right. I'm not really attracted to thin girls. Mm-hmm. It's just not my thing. I'm not saying they're not attractive. It's just not attractive to me for real.
Right. So you would be like, dang, you getting thick. That would be your conversation.
No. My ex was slim. Mm-hmm. But she also was something I said before. She wasn't something that I would have been looking for. Like she was everything that I didn't want. Mm. But we just end up hitting it off. Mm-hmm. But that's another thing. But attraction wise, like I'm saying, we are visual. Men see and we like and we go after. Mm-hmm. So whether you overweight, underweight, average, whatever, you very well can be unattractive to somebody. Mm-hmm. Or unattractive to the person that you like or that you think is attractive. And then you might do want to manage your weight or gain weight, lose weight, whatever situation may be for you to become attracted to that person. Now, am I saying that you should do that?
No.
Yeah,
because that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm not saying that you should. I'm not telling you to do it or not to do it. Well, let me put it like this. What I would do, if my lady, she said, I don't want you getting over a certain weight. Like, I don't like the way you look when you're over a certain weight. Then I'm going to not try to get over that certain weight or whatever, maintain my physique. Because I don't want anybody, I think we like would let ourselves go just saying, you're going to love me for who I am. And I'm like, no, I don't work like that. Like, I'm going to love you, but don't just let yourself go just because you already got me, just because you're already in this relationship.
And I'm glad that you said that because I guess that's the lane that I was trying to go down, but I wasn't articulating it very well. When I said that I wanted to place emphasis on the whole the physicality of it all, I just meant like people who are comfortable in their skin, they give off a whole other different like aura. And sometimes you don't know why you're attracted to them because you're like, like he's not even cute. But there's something about him, like he's comfortable in his skin. Yeah. So that's the reason why, I wanted to place emphasis there. When you do things like take showers, when you do things like make sure that your hair is combed, like it doesn't have to be in a Beyonce style because I don't think that Beyonce is the standard, right? She's great, right? She looks good for what she does, but that's not an everyday look. That's a team. A team of people make her look that way. So unless you have the money for a team, it's not realistic, right?
It almost is.
What do you mean?
So a lot of people every day wear makeup.
Absolutely.
Every day spend time in the mirror fixing their hair to look a certain way, wearing the freaking things under their shirts to suck in, like a everyday thing. Like and they do that without a team. And I wasn't saying Beyonce like she was the standard. I'm saying
That's what I'm saying.
Whoever is the person that people look and say that this is beautiful and this is what I want to look like.
But no, I was saying specifically her, right? I know that it's possible for people. I know women who wear makeup every single day and look bomb.
Yeah.
I also know men who don't like women with makeup. I know them.
Yeah, the majority
like
of us.
they just do. No, that's not fair to say, because there are a lot of women who are wifed up, who their husbands have never seen them, like, you know what I'm saying, with much, you know what I mean, like much off, like they, you know, they're old school in the sense of like, you know, oh, they got to be dolled up. Like my homegirl just told me that her grandmother, she had never seen her grandmother's hair. Her grandmother, she thought that her grandmother was completely bald, but her grandmother has a full head of hair. She'd never seen it.
That don't mean her husband or...
I know, but see, what you're doing is you're going a little bit further than what I'm trying to get you to understand. Is just there are some people who maintain a look. Right. Yeah. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, there are some people who are in relationship with people right now who have never seen their natural hair and so forth and so on.
Oh, all right.
Period.
Yeah.
Even their husbands.
But makeup is something different.
Yeah, makeup is different. Makeup is absolutely different. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, these, you know, maintaining these looks. So going back to the original thing, girls, I would say just make sure, and guys too, you know, just make sure that you're comfortable in who you are. Obviously, if you smell, right, if there's an odor that is coming from you, then you can't possibly feel comfortable in that odor when people are treating you, you know what I'm saying, like you are, get away from me. You know what I mean? Like there's not a comfort level that you could possibly be feeling in that. Mm-hmm.
Different cultures may different. They may disagree.
Some people don't recognize it. So if you're in America, obviously we're in America, guys. But if you're in America, then that's different. But if we are in a different country, yeah, they're not gonna. It's because it's not an odor.
Different cultures that's here.
Right, but if you are being treated a certain way, like people don't, especially Americans, like. Americans really aren't that like super, super kind where we just don't say nothing or don't act a certain way when something is foul.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you can tell the tone. That's why I be wondering like how people don't know what's going on. Like so I had a little boy who was in a program with me. He smelled really bad, but he was from like Alaska or something like that. We had to tell him like, yo, like at this point it's a noise. Like nobody's able to study. Nobody's able to do anything because you smell so, yeah. And we were like, we're going to stand out here and like, you have to make sure that you shower because at this point, again, if it were by himself, out here.
Hold up.
We were standing outside the bathroom to make sure that this boy showered because he would not do it. And we asked him, of course, very, you know, delicate questions, like, you know, working around it. And I'm like making him feel embarrassed and we didn't do it in front of people, but we wanted to know like, you know, is there like, you know, some sort of allergy that we don't know about, like, you know what I mean? Does water...
do you not know how to?
Yeah, things like that.
Nobody teach you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we weren't going to be able to do it, but
yeah,
those are the conversations that we had. But anyway, I said it to say, with him, he was a loner. There was nobody who talked to him. Mm-hmm. And maybe that was okay for him, right? So if that's the thing, but we're talking about attraction.
Yeah.
So we got to leave that alone. We're not talking about people who are good with smelling bad and want to be by themselves.
With being alone.
Yes.
People who want to have relationships with other people.
Exactly. We're talking about attraction. Yeah. So if we're talking about attraction and you seemingly are repulsive to people, then the way to go is not for you not to shower. Mm-hmm. The way to go is not for you not to comb your hair. The way to go is not for you to do things basically that cause for you to repel people. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was, I guess, getting at. You don't have to be dolled all the way up, but keep yourself.
You don't have to be. I just battle with, I mean, we live in a social media age.
Yeah, we do.
You will almost, so there's like two extremes. You have the natural girls, and you have the girls that's always putting on a face. Mm-hmm. And it's very rare where you see women who are how they naturally look every day, like just average. You got the people that's I'm natural. It's out there. They put it out there like this is who I am. I'm natural. And then you got the ones that when you see them, always makeup on, always hair done, this and that. If you see them in real life every day though, it wouldn't be like that. But I know plenty of women that don't leave the house unless they like have some kind of makeup on or something. And I don't even feel like I'm going out on a limb when I say this, but most men, we are not looking for made up women. Like we are not big fans of makeup. We just aren't. We're not saying that it doesn't look good. I think women think that because we don't like it, it means that we don't agree with it. It doesn't mean like it doesn't look good or something. That's not what we're saying. But we love our natural women also.
I can believe that.
Yeah, we want you to just naturally look good. Like I always say, my wife has to be physically attractive to me, like in her natural state. Like I want to be able to roll over in the morning time while she's still in bed at her ugliest and be like, thank you, God. You did good with this one. Like I want to be able to, when we arguing, I don't say, man, get your ugly on my face. And mean it. Yeah. So. Yeah.
That makes sense. So I had a conversation with an ex, and that was what he was basically trying to get. And I understand that now. His whole thing was, I want to be able to see you without any of the extras, right? But I feel like the way in which he asked me to do it, I don't think he really like thought it out. And I think also that he kind of pushed the envelope. If you're with a woman for a long time, right? If you're with her for long enough, you'll find that she's not going to have on her lashes or her nails are not going to be done or whatever the case, because I don't have a lot of accoutrements, right? I don't have a lot of things that I do. Means. Like there are not a lot of extra things that I do. Again. Accoutrements. It's a French thing. Anyway, I'm not going to say it right now.
I was going to just...
Anyway, I don't have a lot of extra things that I do, right? But the things that I do, I enjoy doing them, and I do them for me. I don't do them so that I can attract men, if that makes sense. Like, I think that they make me look nice, but I don't think that I'm...
Just for the sake of looking
unattractive,
nice.
Right.
Yeah.
I just enjoy looking this way. But... there are, again, like you said, there are some women who like a full face. And I think that that's okay for them too. And maybe they do it for that very reason. And that's the reason why I can't be mad at the fact that they do get up and they put on their makeup and they go out in the world, regardless of if a man likes it or not. Again, like you said, if you go long enough, you'll see your woman without,
is that
her
fair?
full face.
What is long enough? Like, I don't want to go 2-3 months and I'm just now seeing your face and then I don't like it.
Well, that's just what you don't want to do. So you're not going to be with a woman who starts that way.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just wouldn't. But there are some men who, I mean, love the whole kit and caboodle. Like, I've heard it. I've talked to the guys who like that. Like, this guy was just like, you're still a woman who loves to wear heels. Like, I enjoy that. I want to see that.
But that's not like appearance modification. Like heels is not something that's altering your natural appearance.
I'm just saying, like they like the dog and pony show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like they like the whole full thing, because you also not gonna be necessarily walking in with the heels and nothing else is together. Like I mean, maybe, I don't know, but anyway,
that's not attractive. You walking with heels and then nothing else.
Nothing else is together.
What were you doing?
But yeah,
Prostitution.
So. That was hilarious. But yeah, okay. So you were about to go to another point. As far as the physicality, like after the physicality, after you see the person, after you see the girl is attractive. When the door's open.
I kind of reluctant about saying this.
Okay.
But we're physically attractive. Many men lay with a woman just because she's physically attractive. And that joins y'all together in a way that it would make a situation something it wasn't before. And so now y'all, unless you was just like trying to boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, all over town, it'll bring y'all closer. Put it like this, a lot of relationships started that way. They was physically attracted to you, you hung out, you end up laying with each other, he's like, all right, we here now. Now we in a relationship.
And
you still really don't know this person.
He's talking about sex, just so that we're clear.
Yeah.
not just laying with a person because y'all like to get cute. Go ahead.
You said clear up things. I'm assuming they knew.
Mm-mm.
Thank you.
They like to get
She's
real
my
cute.
voice. She's my
Well, I was just laying with her.
right.
Yeah.
And doing what?
Right.
Watching Stranger Things?
Exactly. Now we
Nah.
together. We got a spiritual connection.
Nah, but that's how a lot of relationships started.
Mhm.
Like just because we liked the way each other looked, and then we went to the movies a couple times. We had sex, and now we here.
Mhm.
Still, really not really knowing each other.
Mhm.
And if we're gonna be honest, sex really does keep people in relationships longer than
Yes.
they should.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize you really don't like this person, but we're here now. We having sex, and I don't want to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And
How
so-
do you teach kids, for lack of better wording, or young adults, I should say, about how to value their bodies, though, so that it's not one of those things where it's just an experimental thing, like, oh, well, I'm invincible, like I can just give this away. You know what I mean? I got plenty years ahead. I'll just
Yeah.
do this. Like, how do you
I think that has to start when they're young.
agree?
Like valuing yourself and cherishing your person, not just your body but just your person, like who you are.
Agree.
Like not making it something that somebody has to earn, but understanding your value is not something to be earned, but it's something to be matched.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I don't, man, it's tough because when women give it up young or give it up often, like they're devalued.
Mm-hmm.
Like when men do it, we might be devalued, or people might just say that we're devalued, but we still have a greater chance of really settling down with somebody, even when people know, like, oh, he got 100 bodies. But when a woman has it, like, oh, nah, she just gonna have to get 100 more.
Nick Cannon said something about the lock and the key. He said, if there are a lot of keys that fit a one lock, it's a bad lock.
Yeah,
But if there's,
one key,
that fits
right? One lock, and there's not,
yeah.
you can't replicate this. Like
Right.
some keys you can't take to a locksmith or whatever.
But if
And
there are several
they-
keys, yeah, you're right. So, I mean, I thought when he said that, like, I was like, oh, I never really thought about it like
But
that.
I don't know what it is that clicks to make you really know that, to make you understand that what you have is valuable. Because I was already a man that already did the do so many times, and then I read something that made it click. And because you're always told, like, what do women have is precious.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm
until
sorry. I thought about the other part. The master key can open different locks.
yeah.
But okay, sorry, I had to finish it.
I
I'm
was
like, what is
thinking that
that?
the
Yeah, I
master key,
couldn't
but
think
I
about
don't know
it.
why- yeah.
Well, yeah, okay,
I
go
should have
ahead.
just said it.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
My
But
bad.
I was never told until I read Jason Wilson book
Mm-hmm.
that what men have is precious also. Like, we don't cherish our seed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we take sex just for pleasure. And,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. When really what we have in us, what we hold, is what's precious. And it just comes out through expression of sex.
Right.
Like, but seed is something that brings forth life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not AJ
Mm-hmm.
Lonzo. I'm not just gonna put my seed up in anybody.
Uh-huh.
Like, I want to know this person. I want to know her mannerisms. I want to know her family. I want to know how she thinks. Is she smart? Because what we may produce,
Yes.
even if it's not my intentions, it's going to be a mixture of both of us. And if this is a dumb chick,
Yo.
Yeah.
And you just said a thing. Like, I don't understand. Like, people go harder for their plants than they do their sperm or their eggs. Like, it's almost like,
they don't value themselves that much.
yeah. And it's wild to me because I'm like, this is a person that's going to live on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you allow the person to live on, because that's the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is a person who's going to live on.
Nowadays.
So not only does it start there, right? Like, that you should know the person, you should know their background, you should know these families that you're mixing, you should know, like, all these other things. But you're talking about when it's all messed up. So we're not even just talking about a mixture of oil and vinegar. We're talking about how it's going to influence all of these other children, adults, businesses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money flow. Like, it's so many things. And so I wonder sometimes, and I didn't even think of that till right now, right? Not that I've been out here, but I'm just saying, like, I didn't even think of it. But it's something that's so precious, but you need both.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, no, like, my eggs are not more important than your sperm, period.
Nah.
So, wow.
You just now think. I always thought like.
Well, just in the sense of the influence, like how important that influence is.
A lot of people, you said something, said they care more about their plants than they do.
Or anything. Their cars, like.
But it's because they don't value themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
They find value outside of themselves. Like people that have to dress nice all the time, have to have the fastest car or the fanciest car or something. They have to have this image. They're not valuing themselves. They're valuing how they look or something. And so it's easy. I see how, especially when you have a child on accident, if we just call it what it is, you have a child on accident, like if you don't value yourself, what make you think a lot of these men are going to value their children?
Yeah, true. I said that to my homegirl today, just in a sense of like, she was like, you know, I really don't think that my boyfriend's mom I don't think that she wants what's best for us. And I said,
she probably doesn't.
I said, yeah, but I also said she doesn't have to, because you don't even know if she wants the best for herself.
Yeah.
So how is it possible that people can ever think that you could want more for somebody else than you can want for yourself? Sometimes you can. I do think there are a lot of amazing moms and fathers who are like, you know, this is just the life that I have, but you're not going to have that. And I'm going to make sure that you have more and that you have better. As a matter of fact, I feel like that's the way my mom was. Like, just, you know, these are the cards that we were dealt. We're going to make the best out of this hand. But there are a lot of people who just like, yeah, I don't got it. I don't have it for you or me.
And see, I know this episode is supposed to be about attraction.
Uh-huh.
But since you're there, I think like heavily about that.
What?
Where, I don't want to say this. I want to make sure that I set the example. I don't want to say that I didn't have this, but I'm going to make sure you do. I want to have this so that you see this.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of things I've seen on several occasions, the same cycle. Like women get married, get divorced, they have their child or whatever. They're not respecting their husband or ex-husband or anything. It was just a terrible relationship. And then you see the daughters do the same thing. Get married, divorced in less than a year, 2 years, have a child. Now they're raising their daughter by themselves, just like their mother raised them by themselves. And even though our hearts say, I don't want you to grow up how I grew up, it's for some reason it's still happening. It's like the cycle just keeps continuing. It keeps perpetuating itself. And it's easier said than done, but we have to be that example.
Be the change we want.
Yeah, you got to break the cycle before you create the cycle. And that's why I said, like, when I get married and I'm conscious of who I am, what I'm struggling with, how I'm thinking and everything before I plant my seed in my wife.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not going to have sex, but I'm not about to be intentional. If I'm dealing with like depression at this time, or if I'm having thoughts that I'm not pleased with myself, like I don't want to be having these thoughts. I'm not. I believe that's energy going into my seed, and then I'm putting that seed into, and I don't want to do that.
That's exactly what happens. I think, but going, back to that generational cycle, that generational sort of curse, I would say. It's not lost, y'all. Like, it really is not lost. Nothing is lost while you have breath in your body, especially when you serve a God that we serve, right? So I just want to encourage those people who have, been in those cycles of divorce and things like that, and you're really trying to figure out, like, where did you go wrong, or you're trying to pick up the pieces. The pieces are able to be picked up. It's just going to have to be reorganized. So here you are, you're in a season where you're looking for the thing to do, right? You're looking for the healing. You want to know what's next. First of all, you have to look at all of the relationships in which you're holding and stop accusing everybody else but yourself. So it's not everybody else's fault. One thing I always, live by is that, you can't control what other people say. You can't control what other people do. Like, maybe, your husband divorced you. What you can do, though, is control how you react to it. And that's really where a lot of us are dropping the ball, because we think that because a person does something to us, we are, it's okay for us to react the way that we react. Like you open the door, so I should be able to walk through and clock you in your head. No. But what you can do is decide how do you want this to go, right? If your daughter is now treating her father horribly because you have a bitterness for her father, it's time for you to heal your relationship with her father so that she can heal her relationship with him. Because one, she's going down the same road as you're going down. Most of us have an affinity for our mothers. We're literally looking that we want to protect our moms because our mothers have always protected us, right? Well, most of us, right? Not everybody.
That's why I'm saying you got to be the example.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to be the example. So now you want to go back and you want to make sure that you speak to your ex-husband, or even on the other, like if the shoe was on the other foot, your ex-wife. You want to make sure that you guys have a relationship. Now, if that person is giving you the cold shoulder or whatever the case might be, it's okay for you to forgive them. It's okay for you to hold the olive branch out and try to make peace. But if they don't want to do it, then that's another thing. But you're still leading by example. So you're still showing your child, hey, listen, this is not something that he wants or she wants, but I'm letting you know I don't harness any bad feelings or anything for your father or your mother. I really actually love them. And one thing that conquers all is love. So here we are showing you this example. You can do it too, so that you can stop that cycle. I do believe it can be stopped dead in its tracks. As a matter of fact, that's what I pray for all of these, these marriages and things like that have suffered. You know what I mean? Based off of people just being so cold and selfish that they haven't been able to move forward in their marriage. I just want to say
even
that.
this baby mother, baby father. Like I heard this. He's older than me. I think he's like mid-40s.
Uh-huh.
This white guy was talking about his situation with his parents when he was younger.
Uh-huh.
And I think he has siblings. I think he has like a little brother or something. But his mother didn't approve of his father.
Mm-hmm.
Like she didn't trust his decision making. She just didn't trust his way of living.
Mm-hmm.
But she never, to her sons, he said, I've never heard my mother say anything bad about my father.
Mm.
Like, because I can't say how women think, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're not realizing is children, boys and girls, right? We automatically have a reverence for our fathers and a want for our fathers.
Mm-hmm.
And if we listen to our mothers demean this man, talk bad about this man, we'll adopt that.
Yep.
We'll adopt that. And it'll make us feel a certain way about him because we have this affinity for our fathers.
Yeah.
And because you're telling me this dude is trash, now it's like, I'm really not going to respect him. But when you don't say anything about him, if a child asks you about him, you don't have to say negative things.
Mm-hmm.
You could just say, well, look, your father's not accessible right now for whatever reason or something. Mm-hmm. If you feel like it's not safe for that child to be around him.
Right.
But he said, even though my mother didn't approve of his decision making and everything, she was worried about the things we might be watching while we're under his care and everything. Mm-hmm. She's like, she still let us go be with our father.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I thank her for that, because she could have easily swayed our minds when we were younger and everything. But she left it up to us to grow our own perspective about our fathers.
And think about the fact that, like, the father is the seed, right? So if your mother is talking badly about your dad, it's literally like, and you take on her ways or thoughts about him, you're literally fighting yourself too. See, it's different when your mom is saying it, because yeah, she might be spiritually connected to him because they've had sex, but you're literally his seed.
Yeah.
So in the pit of you,
You're talking about a part of yourself.
yes. Do you know how that is damaging?
Mm-hmm.
My mom didn't talk about my dad.
To yourself. You don't even know it's damaging to yourself. But that's part of you. That's half of you.
Exactly. Yeah, she was like very honest with us about things, but she never, she was never like, he is so, no, she was never that way, right?
Well, while we're here, since we're talking about attraction, that
Sure.
is one thing that is like seriously unattractive to me.
What?
Like, for one, this is me, AJ again. What I want personally, I do not desire a woman who already has children.
Okay.
But if a woman that does have children has a chance with me, she doesn't if I hear her talk bad about her child's father all the time.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's super fair. Same thing for men.
Yeah.
With me.
Super unattractive, because one, you laid with that man
Right. So
and
how do you have
created this.
nasty things to say about somebody who you
Yeah, what does that say about your judgment
exactly?
and your character? Even if the dude was no good,
Mm-hmm.
I could respect you more just for not trying to harp on that. Not
Yeah.
trying to, yeah.
And it's a way to eat, right? Like it's a way that you can be like, I mean, he wasn't no good, but I mean, I did choose him, so like, I mean, seriously, like, I mean, we produced some beautiful kids, though. You know what I mean? And like, we can't dwell on our interminglings,
Yeah.
but what we can do is raise some amazing children, and that's all I want.
But you know what's even more attractive?
What?
Just to keep yourself pure and not have,
Absolutely,
for lack of better words, bastard children.
yeah.
I know that sounds bad. But
I mean, it does, but you know,
Yeah.
like you say, you speak to the man, so
it's definitely more attractive when you have a woman that the homies ain't been with,
mm-hmm.
that a lot of guys ain't been with. Like I know people older than me, like people I used to look up to, or people that I still got respect for. Like they would only go after women that they know no other dudes been with.
Mm-hmm.
Like my oldest brother, he would say they would always ask, like, "Hey, what's up with her? You know anybody that been with her?"
Mm-hmm.
And they be like, "Nah, she's solid." Like the girl that hasn't been with a lot of the drug dealers or a lot of the guys that's flashing money, they're like, "Nah, she for real word. She's solid. She not about that."
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that we look at it as a challenge. We have such a respect for that even when we got that girl, that would be somebody that we would want to hold on to. Somebody that we would keep that respect for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that sense, you're speaking to the young ladies who don't have any children, who have never had sex. It's not important for you to rush into something like that either, because your body it literally is a temple. Mm-hmm. It's something that needs to be respected. One, because that's what you carry around with you, right? Like you can't
Daily.
go anywhere without your body.
Yes.
So if everybody has been able to disrespect it, then there is literally nothing that you're really carrying around. Like you're holding a shell of yourself. So don't not rushing into having sex with somebody because you feel that you owe them something like your body, in order for them to actually have some sort of respect for you or love for you or care for you. I've had conversations with young ladies who have told me that they were just ready for it.
What does that mean?
Exactly. I beseech you to look into why you're ready for it. Like just asking yourself that. It's not to say that you're not.
I've only seen that on TV.
What, to say that they're ready?
Like, yeah.
I had a conversation with somebody very close to me who was like, I mean, I was ready. Like I wanted to see what it was like.
Why though?
I don't think that it was a respect that she had for her body though. Like again, it was
Yeah.
experimental. You know what I mean? And when you are just experimenting with stuff, like me, I've been told about experimenting with marriage. I don't think that marriage is something that you experiment with.
Who said that?
Well, I don't, I'm not going to get too deep into that, but it's not
But
experimental. I don't just try. I'm not going to just try marriage with you.
My man Deuce said it. Or what I hate debaters episode.
Yeah, he did.
He doesn't have a reverence for marriage, and so he's like, yeah, it's something I do. Like you can always divorce.
To me, it's not like a sampler
What?
platter. Yeah, I don't want to go and
nah, fool, this is forever.
Yeah, that's
some
it.
Some people don't see it like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. And I don't want to be with somebody who is that way. It's same thing for you young ladies. Like you don't want to be with a guy who's like, I mean, I'm not trying to be with you if you ain't trying to give it up. Okay, well, you ain't the one for me. There's nobody on this planet, right, who is worth you just giving your body to because you feel like, or they've told you that that's what they require in order to move forward with you. I literally have not met a guy in my entire life who was worth that. Not one.
Chop it up, make it plain. What she's saying is, if somebody say they're not going to be in a relationship unless you having sex, she's saying it's not worth being with them.
No.
Or they're not dating you unless they're having sex. It's not worth being with them.
Yes. I agree that relationships are transactional, but I don't believe that you have to, for something so precious. Yes, for something so precious, especially, your virginity, your body, all of that, your spirit. Because we even talking about spirit. Like, we're not even just talking that at the body level. it's never worth you giving that away or those things away because somebody is saying that they're going to move on to somebody else. You let them go. I think AJ and I have been very clear about that. Whenever it's between us and somebody else, what we say?
Oh, well, choose the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you about to say? I'm sorry.
Nah, I was just thinking about, there's people that I've been with that when I think about it, I just be like,
cringe.
and it's not even that they're ugly or unattractive or anything. It's just like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I'm mad that I was,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, same. And it's one of those things where you can't take it back. So at this point, you just have to heal from it. But moving forward, like, that's just kind of like my standard.
Oh,
like
that's
I
not
told this guy,
traumatizing for us. I know that might be a thing for y'all though.
it's not traumatizing in the sense that, like, sometimes you really don't know your worth or your value until you get to a certain level in life. And so when I learned my worth and my value, it was just after all of that had happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do going forward. But that's what I told this guy recently, you know, because I told him about celibacy and things like that. And he was like, maybe that's something I should try. And I said, I mean, is that something you're going to do? He was like, no, not really. I mean, I just said, you know, and I was like, okay, that's
It
true.
just
I said,
sound
but
good
for
for me to say
me,
it.
yeah, I said, but for me, I don't want there to be a lot of flags on my mountain.
Yeah.
I don't want everybody to be able to exchange stories about.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Mike was here.
Jeff was
here.
I work in a barbershop.
Sean was here. David was here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I work in a barbershop and I hear about the ladies. I mean, I don't want nobody to be able to say, oh my gosh, like, this was just so, you know what I mean? Or if it was, you know, adverse and it's like, ugh, you know, disgust. I don't think that that's something that should be a conversation.
But
Not about me anyway. I mean, some of y'all, I mean, you might be okay with it. Like being the talk of the town. I'm just not a talk of the town type of girl. I don't like nobody in my business.
me neither.
So,
That's why I ain't deal with girls in high school.
okay, so let's double back to that. So we said attractiveness, we said physicality, then personality. But what type of personalities are our boys or guys looking
So,
at?
you know what? I know women like guys who are funny.
Yes, we do.
I know that for a
Still
fact.
to this day.
So, I never thought women could be funny.
Uh-huh.
And so, my exes are
I heard a lot of
funny.
men say that.
Both of my exes are funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they actually made me laugh. So, I was like, I think with my ex from 2014, I think she's the first, like, funny girl.
That you ever met.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just naturally. And so, well, I ain't gonna say the first funny girl I ever met, but the first funny girl that I may have paid attention to that actually made me laugh just by her being her.
Right.
And then that became attractive to me, like girls that can be funny. And so I think that's a thing too, because if you can be funny, I can have fun with you.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think it's the same on our end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I
you
think
could be
y'all-
unattractive.
I think y'all be looking for funny though.
Do you think so? I think
I told you about my man who wasn't a looker. My man was ugly.
Yes.
But Slim was funny.
That's
And
what
he
I
knew
was
what
gonna
to
say.
to
I
the
think
girls.
I honestly
Yeah.
can say that, like, for some women, I think they would the physical attraction can be a little lower if he is more, like, if he had more personality and he was funny.
It takes us time.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're not initially attracted to you, you might not be ugly, but you might not be what we was looking for, or something that grabs our attention off bucks. But the personality actually, like if you're a 7 and you got
Looks-wise.
great, if
Okay,
you're let's go a little lower. If you're a 6 looks wise and you got a great personality, that makes you like an 8.5.
Okay.
And we really don't care that you was a 6. Because you're such a great individual. You got great personality. Like I actually like being around you.
Which is just something that is more so an adult man.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if that is it. I don't think that's working for the kids.
Kids, nah.
Yeah, I don't think.
But they don't know. They just.
Yeah.
But when I was a teenager, that's what I'm saying. When I was in high school, that's why I wasn't dealing with. My high school wasn't a lot of girls that I respected.
Okay.
And so I really didn't like. So I knew a lot of the guys that they dealt with, and I didn't. For me, I didn't approve of them guys. It's not guys that I would hang with, and so that would make me unattracted to you. Like if you just got a terrible record, Like you like this dude simply because he plays basketball or something. Or you like this dude simply because he could dress. To me, it's so shallow, and I'm just like, you fall for anything. And now the dude that was playing basketball, you thought he was popular. You thought he was handsome, this and that. He done got you pregnant. Now he done moved on to something else, and now you want to come to the wholesome guys with the good personality and an integrity and all that. I'm sorry, we don't want that now.
Yeah.
It's just unattractive to me.
Yeah.
Like you pick wrong, and now you realize character matters.
Right.
Nah.
But that happens.
I'm sorry.
That happens to us even in adulthood.
You said what?
And that happens to us even in adulthood, though. I think, though, that what we're missing is that there are a lot of men, and this is not to take the onus off of us, because I'm not trying to do that. I think
do it
whenever
because everything starts with us anyway.
Whenever I say certain stuff like that, I notice that a lot of men they be like, "Well, y'all need to own up to your part, and you just putting all of this stuff in our basket." But it's not even that. What I'm saying is there are a lot of men who are walking around with their representative out,
and it's unattractive.
The representative is really attractive.
I mean, it's the same. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The representative is really attractive. But the representative has his stuff together. The representative keeps his car clean, and you know what I mean. Ties his shoelaces really tight, and smiles often, and smells good, and chews gum, and all this other stuff. Like that's what the representative does. But that may not be exactly. But they may not be what you are normally. But one thing I've noticed about guys is that can go on for a long time. So it's not that they came to you because they're like. Suddenly they're like, oh, he doesn't have any character and I don't want him because he's a basketball player. No, it's like if y'all can be physically attracted to whatever is on the outside, we can be that way too. And then we find out that they're trash, like literal trash. And so then we're like, no, he's not even that cute. That's what happens because that's what happened to me.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like you're cute, but you ain't that cute for me to like. Baby. Huh?
But you had a baby.
Right, that's when everything come out too. Especially when you're young like that. You start seeing things because you're so simple. Like things are simple. See now I'm looking at a lot more than I used to. Yeah. So I don't have to lay down with you in order for me to then find out like, boom. Okay, well you're not.
All right, right there.
Okay.
I'm glad because you said when you're young and lay down with you. That right there, especially for young women. And I'm just going to put this out there. I don't care if men hate me for this. Young boys, teenage boys, early 20s, mid 20s, whatever. If you'll see who this person is when you hold out on them. Yep. Like, don't give him any. No. See how long he stays around. Yeah. Don't give him any. See if he'll be a friend. See if he'll still date you. Like, I ain't talking about no Steve Harvey 90-day rule or none of that. I'm talking about don't give him anything. None.
See how he is.
That's how you're going to find. I told you, sex blinds us.
It does.
From everything. So don't give him anything. Find out if this is a person that you actually like. And if you do actually like him, still don't give him any. Don't give somebody something just because you like them.
Like it's a treat or something. Like it's a reward.
Like, you know what? I like you. We can have sex. No.
Like I've said no to you so many times and you've been so nice. Like, no, I'm not giving you none just because you've been nice because I haven't been having sex with you. Like, no, we're not doing that. But again, then they become older men on the same thing. Like one thing I even said before is what you fail to understand, because I think that that's a common thread. And a lot of them, they don't want to be typecast as such, right? I don't want you to think that that's all I want from a relationship. But it's almost like when you do tell them that that's not something that you're partaking in, it's like, well, what are we doing here? Like, I don't feel attractive and all this other stuff. And it's like, but there are different ways for you to feel attractive. Like, there are different ways there are different things that we can do in order for me to make you feel attractive.
You talking about men?
Yeah.
Men say they don't feel attractive because you won't have sex with them?
Yeah, like not giving them, you know what I mean? Like not going... I'm trying to be as vague as possible, and I want to for very good reasons. So please don't ask me any detailed questions about who. But I'm just saying, like, I have had situations where there have been men who have said, you know, well, we can do everything else though, right? And I'm like, no.
What is everything else?
Can't.
Isn't that
yeah, but the whole conversation was basically based off of, well, then how will I feel like attractive to you, or how am I like I don't feel like you are attracted to me.
I keep my mouth shut on that one.
I'm just saying that that's what has happened, but they grow
never
up to
heard
be that. Yeah, like
I've
but when you're
never
used to
heard
getting
that.
something, like you will pull out all the stops just to like make it. You're trying to convince the other person that's okay, or that's what they should do. Or I'm not going to take it
In
any
that
further
way?
than that.
I've heard women say that. Like women, man, that's crazy. I've
Mm-hmm.
legit never in my entire life heard a male say something
Say that.
like that. Like you hear women, why won't you be with me? Am I not attracted? I had a girl call me gay because I didn't. I was right there with her and I didn't sleep with her. She said, "What you gay?" I'm like, "Nah,
Right.
I didn't do it because."
You don't want to be. Oh, that's what I heard. I heard that before.
So but instead of sparing her the embarrassment, I just took her verbal lashing. Like, man, stop playing me, whatever. I ain't want to, because she said it in front of people. I ain't want to embarrass her.
Yeah.
So I was just like, all right, yeah, whatever. But I've heard women like say they would have sex. They was having sex just to feel something, just to feel like men wanted them, just to feel like they were attractive,
A
or to feel
connection.
like they had some kind of appeal to men. I've never heard a man say that. Like for a man to say, how do I know I'm attracted to you? How do I know I'm attractive to you? You won't have sex with me. Like that sounds
Or do
crazy.
anything. Like that's what his whole thing was like. Well, we can do other stuff. Like we could, like, and I'm just like, no. And he's like, why not? Like, because it leads to other things. And he's like, no, I'm not that type of person. And I'm like, I get it though, why he would be so adamant to do that. Because again, working with that part of his brain.
That is a lie.
I
I don't
know.
care. I don't care. That is a lie.
I know.
We just trying to get the door open.
And that's what I was saying to him. And his whole thing was, well, I'm different. And I'm like, that's cute that you believe that, but I'm not about to. Again, it's not an experiment for me. But there are some women who would be like, okay, well, let's just try something tonight.
Next thing you know, maybe knocking the boots.
Exactly.
You
And
say
then
that.
you waking up and then you feel all these regrets and all this stuff. I'm not playing those games.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. And first of all, my life is not a game. My sexuality is not a game. My whatever, it's not a game. None of this is a game for me. Do you feel me? So
Yeah.
I don't care what you're trying to do to convince me. I used to be just looking at him like we,
You can
talk on down.
Fight all you want.
Yeah. Talk on down. But then it didn't last. And then it was one of those things where
So I say,
if I had
what would
gone
make a
ahead
woman
and gave
stay?
it,
Yeah.
if I had gone ahead and given it, right, then do you know like what would have happened? He would have literally had a piece of me still now,
Yeah.
wherever he is.
And you devalue yourself. I don't want a
it.
woman that I could talk out of her pants.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Bring, ding, ding, ding.
That's not attractive to
It's
me.
not.
The sex may feel good, but the fact that I was able to talk you out of it, like that's why I said you don't want somebody. I don't want you to allow me in because you like me.
Mm-hmm.
For one, I'm not. I already said it several times. Me and my wife aren't going to have sex until we get married. Like the woman that I'm going to marry, neither one of us are going to be together until we get married. And that's what God told me, and that's exactly how I'm going to carry it. I don't want somebody that because you like me, you're willing to give it up. Or because you love me, you're willing to give it up and we're not married. I want somebody that's going to stand firm like I'm standing firm on it. And like we'll create these boundaries. We'll hold ourselves to them. Like I don't want to be able to talk you out of it or kiss you out of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be able to hold your hand and then chemicals change.
Right.
you get
Right.
you get
Just
little
kidding.
chemicals going and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But yeah, so it wasn't. It just, to me, it wasn't. But that's not. I want to say that was like the basis of the relationship. It wasn't that. It was just like that was part of, just trying to see what we can go or where we could go. But I will say that I'll own up to the fact that like for me, I believe I could have done better in explaining to him what wasn't going to happen too.
should you have to?
That's that.
Like, is
So
that the guy that you want to be with? That you
No.
got to explain this to him?
no, but I do feel like coming in the gate, that should have been like a hard stop. Like, well, then you
Yeah,
may not
'cause-
want to go further because
it'll
this,
end
this,
a lot
this,
of
this.
guys from pursuing.
Yeah.
Definitely will.
So So that's definitely the ownership that I'm gonna have on that situation. It's just like
I recommend all women do
I
that
should have
also.
done that.
I mean, many women I want sex in my way. Oh, ain't cool. Do you?
Yeah, I think
Devalue yourself. Go ahead.
No,
I'm not
it's
saying
not even that. It's just it's just
It
like
is that. Like,
that's what she want to do.
yeah, but she's having fun and devaluing herself all simultaneously. That's cool. And it's some men out here that like that.
Yeah.
But if you want a successful relationship, you want a successful marriage, you want a respectable relationship, you want a respectable marriage, or you want a respectable man, then respect yourself.
Period.
And it's not that I'm not saying that if you out here having sex a lot that you don't respect yourself.
Respect yourself. Yeah,
what I'm
that's not what
saying
he's
is if you out here having sex a lot, you don't respect yourself. That's exactly what I'm saying. Take it how you want.
Yeah, hot takes.
And if you give it up easy, you don't respect yourself.
Hot takes. We take it from AJ. All right. What's next? Did you have any questions, Lizzie, that we're not covering? We haven't covered as far as attraction is concerned for the opposite sex.
Oh, I had a question.
What?
Because this is a big thing for the newer generation and our generation now. Online. We used to talk about online earlier. Like, how do you like somebody online? What makes somebody likable online?
Physicality.
That's it? You just see them and they're physically attractive
So,
and you like them?
not really. Not really. There's new social medias that like let you see people and let you talk to them as long as you want.
So like gaming.
Not
What are these new social medias?
What?
So you have Monkey, you have Omegle, stuff like that. Yeah.
Never heard of any of these. Are these?
Wow, we're old.
You said Monkey and what's the other one?
Omegle.
Oh, Omegle.
Omegle.
Yeah, I've never heard of any of these things. But you could talk to so what is like FaceTiming?
Yeah, you could FaceTime, you could chat.
And it's for people like your age group, or are you guys on there and you're not supposed to be on there like we were with Black Planet?
It's like 13 over. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Black Planet was 18 or over though.
You don't think so?
No.
I can't remember.
I
I
was
just
on
know
Black
I feel
Planet.
like, huh?
I was about to say I was on Black Planet for some time.
But I don't feel like they had
And I
any
never lied about my
really.
age.
I don't. Did they have any age restrictions? Because even when
No,
we were on
that's what I'm saying.
AOL
I don't
Instant
think they did
Messenger,
because it used to be like on the side.
Yeah.
It'd say like 13 or
Got
15.
you.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But everybody
AOL
lied about their
Messenger.
age. On
Dang,
there.
I remember that.
Because all of the new social medias, you have to have an age restriction.
Okay.
So you have to be 18 on those, like the Monkey and the.
13 or older.
and older. There's no cap. Oh my
No,
god,
13
that's pedophile central. Pedophile central.
You have to be on different ones if you were older than 18.
Okay, so
So even on the 13-year-old ones, excuse me.
no, go
Oh,
ahead.
my burp ain't reach over there.
No.
So even on like the 13, what's that? Monkey is the one you could be 13 and you could.
You are 13 and older and you can just like talk to people.
And so you could see them like so it's like you FaceTime and like live talking
Yeah.
for the 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
All right, that's crazy.
That is crazy. It's pedophile central. So how do you determine that it's not an old man who's talking to you or an old lady?
They can't turn their camera off. So if you're on chat, you can never. Like,
Oh, so you okay? Got it.
You can see
turn
them.
the camera off, you can always see them.
Okay.
So how you know you like them? How do you know you like somebody?
Yeah. How you know?
Well, me personally, I don't really like anybody now. So, but basically personality. That's it. Though. I don't really.
All right. So what about their personality?
Well, like
attracts
you have to be nice. You have to be nice or like smart at least, because a lot of the boys are just like at my old school. A lot of the boys were just not smart at all
Mm.
because they were selling drugs, cigarettes, stuff like that.
At your old school, how old were these kids?
13 up. Yeah, so
This was in middle school? Yeah, they were stupid. They was 13 in middle school. I mean, no, I guess that's right.
18. I mean, 8th grade.
I was 13 in the 9th grade though.
stay back
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a year. A
yeah,
lot of them stayed back because they
yeah, that is unattractive, dumb.
They were not smart.
Yeah, that's something that's unattractive to me. Like dumb girls, and I know that sounds bad, but I just do not like ditzy chicks and dumb girls. I swear, it's one of the most unattractive things ever.
Yeah. I can't speak on that.
What, dumb girls
Yeah.
or dumb boys?
Dumb boys, because
You can't speak on it. You used to say it all the time.
Well, that's the thing, right? So the standard, the bar was so, basement level, right? So, because I think they're all dumb. So it's like, come and join.
So you are attracted
I don't think
to
they're all
dumb
dumb
boys.
now,
Oh,
but I was, yeah. Like,
so you was just settling for all the dummies. Oh, that
I've
wasn't never a
dated-
requirement. You
let me
never,
see.
you never was like, I need a smart man, because I believe all of them are dumb. That's what you.
You did?
Yeah, Jalil, you guys did you like to do?
Don't put no names on your.
It's
thing.
too late.
It's too late now. She already said it. It's fine. He's probably not gonna listen.
He's not watching this anyway.
No,
It's
he's
not our
watching
demographic.
it.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, I would say that I've dated some guys who were smart in certain ways. But sometimes I feel like, you always talk about common sense and common. Like, I feel like that's where there's a huge,
Oh,
yeah, man. So,
I mean, I
and then
guess.
funny too. I haven't dated a lot of funny guys.
You
That's why I'm
don't-
like, what is wrong
You
with
don't
me?
like funny guys for real, dog. You just it sounds good to say you want a funny guy.
No, tell me
Yeah.
why you said that though.
Because you don't date funny guys.
I know. I'm trying to figure out like what is wrong with like why haven't I dated anybody funny?
Really sit down with yourself
Yeah, I gotta say what.
and
If you don't talk with them like daily, you won't figure out that they're like funny or anything. Like you need to talk with them daily.
So apparently I don't talk to the guys that I date daily.
Do you?
I talk to them on the bus, like on the bus every day, because they would be on the same bus now. So.
I do, but I'm also trying to figure out what guy that I feel like is like, bend like I can't breathe funny.
it's not many guys that's like that.
No. Especially not when it comes to women. I feel like y'all are funny with each other. And I guess that's the thing, right? Like, because y'all are hilarious with each other.
Yeah.
Like, when y'all get with somebody like me, that's when it's like, it's almost like y'all get scared to be funny. And it's just like,
Well, for one, I'm hilarious with women. See, I am hilarious. I don't know what you talking about.
no.
So,
Okay. Oh,
it's not. But here's the thing.
what's the thing?
For one, the settings that you're in, you don't want men like when I'm with the guys, we are dying laughing.
I know, cracking
We
up.
can't die laughing with the things. Like we can't say the same things we say with them with you.
Right,
And
that's
die
what I'm
laughing.
saying. And I'm
I've
not-
had girls tell me because I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's funny to me would always be funny to me. And with both of my exes, they'd be like, "Why would you laugh at something like that?" I'm like,
I
you know
asked
what?
you that.
Forget it. Don't even.
I asked you that
forget
one
it.
time.
Why
just
would you
like,
play with his life like that? I'm like, you know what? Forget it.
right.
If I was with Deuce and James, we'd have been dying laughing
Cracking
right now.
up.
With you. So trust me, you don't want men. It's a different.
No, I wasn't saying
Oh.
that. I'm just saying like it's almost like when they get to me, like they can't be funny. Like they gotta be on mode. Like I don't know. It's like this intimidation. Like
That's my question.
Nah.
Why?
what?
Why do they just like get scared to be funny?
It's not that they get
Yeah.
scared to be funny, but they gotta figure you out.
So I think I am a serious person
We laugh.
all the time. I laugh with everybody who I'm with. As far as like my peers,
Yeah.
I laugh with them.
It's
But when
because
it
you
comes
know
to
each
my
other.
dudes, I just be like, bruh, like,
What?
yeah.
It's because you don't want. That is not something that's at the top of your list. You don't want a man that's funny.
I do.
Okay.
I just need to sit with myself. I need to sit with
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, and find out why you don't like funny guys.
Yeah.
Like you want funny, but
I've never
These
turned
guys
somebody
is
down
not-
because they were funny though. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Like
No,
you're
but
making it
nah.
seem like I was like,
no, that's not what I'm saying.
no, he's funny, but like
No, that's not what
I
I'm saying.
want.
What I'm saying is, whatever it is that matters to you, like
It outweighs the
more,
funny.
it's outweighing the funny.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's more.
And
like,
those guys
believing
aren't
in
funny.
God, things like that.
Yeah. A lot of those guys aren't funny.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
They're clowns. Like a lot of those church boys, they're clowns. They're not funny. They're corny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it looks good. It looks good on the resume. Like, I got a God-fearing man. He's a prophet. He goes to this church every Sunday.
But he's a four.
He's a minister. He's a clown. That nigga's a clown.
He's not funny. I'll sit with myself, guys, and see what happens.
Yeah, you'll find a funny one.
On the next topic, on the next attraction meter, is there anything that we left out, though? So we talked about physical. We talked about personality. Funny, right? Humor, which is personality.
It's part of it.
We talked about respecting your body, because you're going to have those jokers that try to talk you out of your everything. And women, too. So we ain't talking about just guys, because there's some aggressive women out there. And a lot of them I've noticed, like in the stories that I've heard, a lot of aggressive women are older, and they prey on the younger boys. Have you noticed that that's a thing?
Yeah, but
so they'll be like
if
16.
They preying on them.
I mean, well, that's the thing.
We
like
want
they're
'em.
right, yeah, but that's not something that you're ready for. You may not be ready for that. Well, you think you are, but you don't even respect your body enough to say that you
Yeah, they don't.
are ready for that. So that's what I'm targeting.
Yeah.
Like
They don't know the problem with men is we don't. Women are taught to respect their body.
some of us.
We're taught to get that respected body. We're not taught to respect our bodies. And that's why I said I didn't get until I was already an adult. Like, I'm out here doing what I do, not knowing that I'm disrespecting myself. Not knowing that what God has blessed me with, I'm just freely giving. Thinking that I'm the one benefiting from it. Or not even that benefiting from it. Thinking that I'm the one that's getting gain. And really, I'm just defiling myself more and more for a temporary pleasure. And then I got all these girls walking around with a piece of me.
Yeah. Having a conversation.
Because I wasn't going skinny, so they ain't got to be.
But okay. So we did talk about that. Attraction. Let's see. Smells. We talked about that. We talked about
Being yourself.
being smart. Yeah, being yourself.
I
Having
think
confidence.
Being yourself is, I think that's probably one of the most attractive things.
I
You know,
do
if you
think
don't
that you have
think
to
you're
find out
ugly-
who you are, though.
Yeah, I mean, be yourself. You find
sometimes
out. Like, sometimes you just need to cut off the outside influences.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Like-
a lot of pictures there in middle school.
But think about the fact that, like, when we were coming up, because there wasn't any social media like that, we had our core audience, right? Like, we had our friends, we had our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, sisters, all those people. And now you have so many millions of people who can come and critique you every single day.
If you allow them.
If you allow them to. And I ain't gonna be, you know, too afraid to say, but that's the reason why I'm not on social media, is because I don't want the noise. I don't want to be thinking about, oh, well, let me put my best picture out here, or let me put this out here. Like, that's also why I'm not on it for the social media for hours either.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing what God has asked me to do and what I feel like God has asked me to do. If that's the case, then I don't need to hear, you know what I mean? Oh, well, I don't like her shirt today. Or, oh, shout out to AJ for getting me this shirt. Beacon Threads. It's got my peace sign.
Hold
You
up,
know, I like to do my peace sign.
No, showing the shirt.
But we
too.
look, but shout out to Beacon Threads though, because it's a black-owned company. I mean, we would love to be sponsored by them. So this is probably going to be the only time we'll say something about them. But
All right,
it's
well,
a
cool.
beautiful black couple who owns this amazing and shout out to I Am the Church.
Oh yeah.
Their
Man, Mo.
threads here, Mighty Mo, the guy who Pastor Mo, he was on episode 15.
Yeah.
The men
I am
episode.
experienced.
The I Am Experience.
Yeah, we say faith and glory.
Yep.
Supernatural supply.
Yeah, so we looking for sponsors too. I mean, not because of, you know, us just wanting money and things like that, but we want to be able to promote positive images and things like that. Like this, Beacon Threads is owned by a couple. Mo is a pastor. He's a married man. You know what I mean? He has a family. He literally is a covering for his family. Same things for this guy. I don't know their names. I will find out their names. But they're a family unit. They put their kids in the picture and everything, and they're not far from us, right? They're like in Baltimore, right?
That's what I mean. That's where the clothes coming from. I don't know if that's what They are. I suppose.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it feels good to just be able to support African American
Yeah.
like business owners, small, large businesses, clothing, things that are positive and message. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that. But anyway, where was I going when I said something about
I don't know, but
Oh,
I wonder how
I
to
don't
be
want
yourself.
nobody. I don't want nobody commenting, talking about they don't like your glasses today, because that doesn't have anything to do with the what you're trying to say.
You know what's funny?
What?
I don't like my glasses,
Okay.
but I don't care.
You don't like your glasses though.
Yeah.
It ain't
So even,
TT Ray Ray and Day Day saying that they don't like your glasses.
but if they did, I don't care.
No, that's right.
But I don't care. Like social media, other people's opinions don't. It doesn't bother me in real life.
Oh no.
So it's definitely not going to bother me on social media. A lot of people had different things to say about me. I don't really care.
The only reason why it's bothersome is because it's there. So it doesn't bother me that people have their opinions, because everybody has one, just like they have buttholes, right? But I think for me, it's the glorification that social media adds to an opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it really makes people think that it really matters. Like,
But that's why brings me to my point about being confident in yourself. Like, just really being yourself.
Yeah.
When you have to do things to change who you are, whether it's your appearance or how you're acting in front of a camera or how you're acting in front of other people, you'll never really be confident in who you really are.
Agreed.
That's why I think that's why a lot of us men really like natural women, because it's showing us that you're confident in who you are. Like, you could be natural and look good. Like, that's not just physical attraction to us. That's adding an element of spiritual attraction to us, because confidence isn't like a tangible thing.
Okay, actually, absolutely, yeah.
It's like a essence or something.
And again, who's to say what that looks like? Some guys
You
like
sense it.
girls with their eyes that are close together. Some guys like girls with big noses. Some like girls, you know what I mean, with round faces. Some like girls with skinny. I mean, there's an array of different things, and I think that's the spice of life. That there are so many different beautiful shades and sizes and shapes and things like that. And I think that that's the reason why I know why it's hard for so many men too, because it's like there are so many, like, wow, like there's this buffet out here and everybody has something different. Like, she's beautiful, but she's also beautiful, or she's also, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different.
But who has the confidence?
Exactly.
That's the difference.
And that would make the difference between you and somebody else too, because every man is not looking for a confident woman.
No, but that is something
That's attractive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
to every man, like
And to women
knows.
too.
Yeah.
It's listen, that ugly dude that's really, really confident, we be like, oh,
not just confident, but sure of himself.
Yeah.
A woman that's sure
Yep.
of herself. Like, that's what, without sounding arrogant or real prideful or anything.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want a real arrogant woman, but somebody that's confident, that's sure of herself. That's something that's attractive.
Absolutely.
Like, and it might not be something that we're looking for. You ever been attracted to somebody that you didn't want to be attracted to?
Yes.
So it wasn't the looks that done it. It was something about their essence. It was something about the surety of self that really did it for you. And so you don't have to be looking for it. Like, men, we know, like, man, it's something about her that I really like.
Yeah.
And you like, this is not the type of girl that I would even normally go after.
Exactly. So, question, y'all: do you think that that you need to go after everybody who you're attracted to?
No, I'm attracted. I see freaking tons of women every day that I'm attracted to.
I'm just putting it out there for
Yeah.
the other young men too, and young ladies. Just because there's an attraction there doesn't mean that you have to go after it. It doesn't mean you have to lock it down. It doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship with that person. There have been plenty of people who I've had crushes on, and it's like I just needed to leave, like just stay right there, because when it became more, when he started talking, I was like, ugh, dang.
Yeah,
That's
why I don't want it to stay there, because I don't want to have that question mark. Like, show me that I'm not really attracted to you, and I'll be all right. But there's, like, my attraction runs deep. So just because you're physically attracted to me, you're not. It doesn't mean you're going to get my attention. It just means, like, you're physically attractive. Like, you're pretty. You got a nice body, whatever it is. That, to me, that doesn't mean anything.
Right, that's true.
Like, you can't even, that doesn't even mean you'll get sex out of me. I don't even care how horny I am at the time or what. Like, just because you're beautiful with a beautiful body doesn't mean you're going to get that from me.
Right.
Like, I really need to have something deeper than just physical attraction.
I wonder how many men that's the case for. You know, that would be a good poll, because I've heard that before. Like, I've heard some people say they have to have a deeper connection with somebody in order to have sex with them, and then I've heard some people who, you know, not willingly admit it, but that's like part of their conversation.
I'm not saying that. I don't have to have the deeper connection to want to have sex with you. I want to have the deeper connection, because I'm just tired of like meaningless stuff. So I'm just trying to live my life purposeful.
That's the difference between you and I.
Yeah.
I have to have it. I have to have a deeper connection.
Well, I'm a man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, like that's probably the only other. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's so easy for men to cheat and do things. Like, we don't necessarily need a connection. We just need an erection. And
that's it.
Yeah. But I desire a connection. You know, I desire a bond. I desire companionship, somebody I could trust, somebody that I wouldn't mind. I don't even want to say wouldn't mind. Somebody that I want to build a family with. Somebody that I want to plant my seed in. You know.
Cool. Any other questions you might have, Liz? We good? All right, let's pick another topic just for the sake of having one for the.
You don't want to go on the other one?
The next.
You don't want to go off the other one that we postponed?
No, this will be for after that one.
Like it's dice or something.
I ain't blowing it today. It might not be good.
This one was yours. Are men and women equal?
What's that on? Okay, let's go with it.
Had to be.
Let's go with it. You know, I'll own up to it if it is mine.
You probably gonna switch it down to where my stuff at.
Huh?
I think you slick. I think you be moving the notes.
No, I don't. And it shows it when you do something, when you alter the notes. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
Are men and women equal?
Are men and women equal? That is going to be our topic after next.
Yes.
Thank you so much again for Kennedy coming.
Well, you know what? This might be the next topic.
Okay.
Because we really do want to have somebody that already has children.
Yeah.
Or a child for the topic about dating.
Who's out here dating. I did ask somebody, though, while I was in a barbershop.
What did they say? And
she said that it really depends on how quickly they connect.
Would she come on the podcast, though?
I don't want to do her. It'd be too. We'll talk about why later. But anyway, she was saying that it depends on the connection with the person, and she said, but also her biggest thing is like, that's my child. Like, you'll never be able to parent my child. Like, I'll parent my child.
That episode is gonna get spicy.
It's gonna be
because I feel a certain way about it, and I know women feel a certain way about it, and
men.
Yeah.
So I'll take the duty of finding a woman, and you take a duty of finding a man.
You want to have both of them here?
I think that'd be fun. What do you think?
All right.
Okay.
I'm him.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Shout out again to Lizzie. Thanks for tuning in to Deep Skydiving. Where can I find us?
Deep Skydiving Podcast at
gmail.com.
Deep Skydiving Podcast on
TikTok, Instagram,
and maybe coming soon
Facebook
with more content.
Yep.
Media.
And then any
YouTube
podcast
for the visuals.
Yep.
If you're listening to this, you can find the visuals on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, then you can find it. You can listen to it on,
any podcast
Apple Podcasts,
platform, yep.
Google Podcasts. I forgot, man. It's a lot of them. Wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify, whatever. Wherever you listen to it, you can find it.
iHeartRadio, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And at the end of the day, just make it work.
Do what you do and make it work.
The inside piece.
Deuces. I didn't mean to point right there, but.